It's Mock Draft Wednesday. Welcome back to another mock draft. Today, again, no trades. We're gonna start doing that a little later, maybe after the Super Bowl, post Super Bowl. But it is still mock draft Wednesday, so let's get to it. Senior Bowl is going on right now, so there are some big risers and fallers right now. So, I've heard Caleb Banks hasn't had a great showcase. I've also heard Lee Hunter has been playing pretty well, and I was pretty high on him even before the Senior Bowl. I was like, wait, this guy's isn't that bad. Where's he? He's ranked 53. I think he can maybe sneak into the first round. There's some mock drafts already him sneaking into the first round. I'm honestly on the hype train. I've seen he gets pushed around a little easily, but he's very violent, and he can get to the pass rusher. So or to the passer. So I don't think so. But let's wait on that. So the Raiders. Let's go Fernando Mendoza out of Indiana. Easy pick. Mendoza, like there's buzz of Mendoza not being a great quarterback, like a not great pass rush, and yeah, this class is very weak, right? There's not many great quarterbacks. I mean, there's maybe two first round talent type of guys, which is Ty Simpson and Mendoza, but other than that, it's very weak, and the drop off after a quarterback is giant because you don't know if Trinidad's coming back. Garrett Nussmeier is a big question mark. He's older too, and Carson Beck's another old quarterback. These guys haven't played particularly well. Carson Beck really rose his draft stock, but I think taking Mendoza here is good. He has a big frame. He's 6'5", I think 220, 225, 6'5", 225, and he plays like he was born to play football. Like I don't even know how to describe it. Like he plays it very well. So I don't hate this pick here. So let's move on to the Jets. So I'm going to say this is going to get a little frisky. It's going to get a little crazy, okay? Maybe not the first couple picks, but maybe later. So I have him saying Ruben Bain. The playoff run was crazy. Ruben Bain is so violent. He's so good. There's problems with his bend, but I don't think you can. I think the production outweighs the concerns. He was so dominant in Miami, so I think taking him here would be perfect. Jets need pass rush. I think taking best player available is probably the best decision here. I think Bain here will be wonder for Aaron Glenn. And I'm really high on him as a prospect. I like him more than David Bailey and even Arvo Reese to an extent. I think he's very good. So I think taking Ruben Bain here is a perfect decision for the Jets. The Cardinals, I have them taking. Let me adjust this way. I have the Cardinals taking. Where's Spencer Fano? Oh, they're taking Spencer Fano. So usually I've been going CC Malinois. I think taking Spencer Fano here isn't a bad option. He's kind of like the second best or best tackle, depending on how you look at it. But in my opinion, I think he's second best. I think I like Malinois a little more. I think I have found him a little more liable than Fano. But Fano's good. He just won the Offensive Lineman Award in college football. When the awards are coming out, he played very well in a lot of games. So I think taking Fano here is a good fit for the Cardinals, who need a upgrade at tackle. The Titans, with newly hired Robert Saleh, they take Arvo Reese out of Ohio State. This is a perfect pick for Robert Saleh, who is a defensive guru. So I think taking Reese here with who plays off the ball. People keep on saying, "Oh yeah, off the ball, off the ball linebacker, why are you taking top 4?" It's not really because of off the ball. It's really because of his pass rush upside. You've seen that he's pretty raw, like a pretty raw athlete. He's very violent. He's very quick. He's been pretty good this year. So I think taking him at 4 is great because he's been very good at pass rushing. He's also can play off the ball too if you need him to. So I think taking Reese here is a good decision. And honestly, I wouldn't probably pick an offensive guy now that Saleh's here. So I think taking Reese here, who they need pass rushing, is a perfect pick for the Titans. The New York Giants on the clock. So this is where it gets frisky, right? These 4 picks are like basically the same. Maybe instead of Malinois, obviously, or instead of Fano, you take Malinois. Giants. Let's get a little crazy. I'm gonna go Mansour Delane out of LSU. Again, Mansour Delane. Physical abilities are not off the chart, right? Arms are short. He's not the fastest in his position, but he's so smart and plays the ball so well. And I think that the Giants need that. The guy plays the ball well because the Deonte Banks pick was terrible. He doesn't play the ball, but he has good physical abilities and is a better returner than he is a corner, which sucks because he took him 23rd overall. But Mansour Delane can walk in. He can immediately be a part of this team, immediately be part of this group, and probably accentuate this the secondary too, and build more youth in the secondary, because the secondary is very young. And no one's older than 26 now. So I think taking Delane here is the perfect fit for the Giants. If you could find a way to trade back to, I don't know, maybe 10, that'd be awesome. But the problem with that is that, like, that's why I don't really like trades in this specific year, is because the blue chip talent isn't that much as compared to, like, I don't know, 2024 or even 2025 to an extent, right? There's less like top end talent everywhere. Like, I'm not gonna say it's more of a deep class, but there's less top end talent than previous years. So I'm taking Delane here. Because you probably won't find someone who can trade back. I think taking Delane here isn't terrible. You could also say Downs is in play, but corners obviously more taken instead of safety in the top picks. The Browns. This is another easy pick for me. This is Francis Mauigoa going to Cleveland. Cleveland has very contract issues with a bunch of their offensive linemen. A bunch of them are set to be free agents, and you just need a tackle just in general. So I think taking Mauigoa here is perfect. And if you can get a wide receiver later in the round, maybe like a Casey Conception, Denzel Boston later, that would be perfect for them. But right now they take Mauigoa because he's too good to pass up on. The Commanders. Okay, this is also where I get frisky. You don't usually see this often, but I don't want my mock drafts to get redundant. So we'll take Sonny Styles here. I think I think other than Mekhi Lemon, Sonny Styles has got to be like probably top 5 on my big board, right? I think Mekhi Lemon, Downs, Bain, Reese, and Sonny Styles, honestly, is perfect for me. I love Sonny Styles. There's not much room for error for him. There's not much error for him. He's a great run tackler. He's great. He fills the gaps in perfectly, gets in between the A, B, and C gap perfectly, right? It's perfect, right? And he's pass coverage upside, right? He was a safety in college, converted to safety. Sorry, in high school he was a safety, converted to linebacker. He's fast. He's good at tackling. He doesn't miss tackles. He really doesn't miss tackles, and he's been one of the best. I mean, his worst grade was a 61.3. You don't really see that often. There's some guys with who go in top 10 who have pretty poor grades, right? But I really love seeing Sonny Styles going to the Washington Commanders, not only because he's a great fit, but he also, that team is getting older, right? That team is one of the oldest, I think, if not the oldest in the league. I think taking Sonny Styles here for linebacker for Bobby Wagner, who's gonna retire soon. I think he's a good disciple for him, so I think this guy could be a top 5, maybe even top 3 linebacker in football. So I think taking him here would be perfect. This guy, like he can be like along the names of Fred Warner or Jack Campbell. Like, it could be someone like that, right? But I think taking Sonny Styles here is perfect for the Commanders. Even though they need edge rushing, I really like Sonny Styles. I'm gonna leave it there. The Saints, I'm going Jordan Tyson. Again, Jordan Tyson, he's literally the clear-cut best receiver in this class is when he's on the field, though. And that's why people have Carnell Tate going instead of him. Again, Carnell Tate has been good this year, right? But I think taking Jordan Tyson here kind of solidifies your wide receiver one. Obviously, right? You have Chris Olave. I think Jordan Tyson can overtake Chris Olave as the number 1 guy. It's just the problem is the injuries. If he can stay on the field, and again, we don't really know that. But taking the risk here, top 8, like taking 8 for probably one of the best guys in this class, he's probably on top, one of my top big boards too. He's probably like 6 through 8. I'm not gonna say 6 through 7 because fucking monkeys, but 6 through 8, right? I think he is. He is probably like my 6 through 8. Like he'll fall in that range for me. So I really love him here. Taking Jordan Tyson would be an awesome pick for Tyler Shuck and that team, especially Kellen Moore, who's come from Philadelphia. So I think he'll have a field day with Olave and Tyson. The Chiefs, I've been taking Jeremiah Love. That's not much variation from my previous mock drafts. And taking Jordan Tyson here taking Jeremiah. Whoa, did I say Jordan Tyson the entire time? I'm on Jeremiah Love. Sorry, I'm still in the Jordan Tyson mindset. I think taking Jeremiah Love here is a great option for the Chiefs. Again, Mahomes ACL. Just take him. I've explained this a million times. I don't need to explain it too much in depth. But Mahomes ACL. Jeremiah Love will come in, alleviate this offense in the pass and run game. So taking Jeremiah Love here would be perfect. The Bengals, I haven't taken Caleb Downs out of Ohio State. Safety is a big need. Caleb Downs is the best player in this draft, in my opinion. And taking him here would be a perfect pick for for the Bengals, who need safety help. The Dolphins. There's a plethora of ways they can go. I have them going Cardinal Tate out of Ohio State. Obviously, corner is a big need. But I think taking Tate here at 11, where he usually goes in like, I don't know, the 5 through maybe even 4 through like 9 range, is a good pickup, because do you want to take a chance on Jamal McCoy, whose ACL is still like concerned, like with the coming off an injury, right? Who just tore his ACL, right? Or do you want to take Cardinal Tate, who's been a safer prospect in some aspects? So I think taking Cardinal Tate here would work better than Jamal McCoy. If Delaney's here, I'd honestly take him here, because there's less concern with that. But I think Tate here is perfectly fine, because the Giants reach on Delaney. The Cowboys. So you would have loved Sonny Styles here. I love Sonny Styles going to the Cowboys is like a match made in heaven for me. Like, I think that's perfect. Even though I hate the Cowboys as a Giants fan, I love Sonny Styles going to the Cowboys. It's just like a perfect pick for what they need. But they need some more. They need. I don't know. They need a corner. So I think taking Jamal McCoy here would be perfect for them as well. Jamal McCoy, again, ACL injury, like I said previously in my previous pick. Jamal McCoy ACL injury. That's why the Dolphins passed on him in the scenario. So I think taking McCoy here isn't such a terrible pick, because you lost Diggs. So I think getting a wide receiver, you don't really know how much Bland is. Like they paid Bland. I don't really know how trustable that is. I'm not a big fan of Deron Bland being your corner 1 or even corner 2. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think Jamal McCoy could step in and immediately be that corner 1, because that's how well he played during those days in Tennessee before he tore his ACL. Like, he was the clear-cut corner 1 before he tore his ACL. Like, it was that good. Over even like Travis Hunter too, who's one of the Heisman. I think Jamal McCoy is a better corner prospect than Hunter. So I think taking McCoy here gets your solidified wide receiver 1. Corner 1, perfect. The Rams, they're now going to go with wide receiver Mekhi Lemon. So I looked this up. Devontae Adams still under contract for 1 more year. Taking Mekhi Lemon here, who plays slot, with low drop issues, who's a gadget type wide receiver, next to Adams for 1 more year, and Nakua for the rest of eternity until he retires, is perfect. This makes his offense much crazier. Obviously, you would like a quarterback here, maybe Ty Simpson, but I think Mekhi Lemon, if he falls to 13, I say you snag him up. I love this pick for the Rams. People say, oh, the Rams don't need wide receiver. Devontae Adams is going to retire soon, or he's going to leave, and I don't know if they'll pay him if they take Mekhi Lemon. Do you want to invest into a Mekhi Lemon, or do you want to invest into Devontae Adams? I'm taking Mekhi Lemon 100 out of 100 times, in my opinion. There's no way I'd take a wide receiver, or don't take Mekhi Lemon if he falls here. People have been saying tackle. Even I've started to be like, okay, maybe Monroe Freeling or Caleb Lomu. I think Cam Proctor is too raw of a prospect to go to LA immediately, because that room is getting a little older. So I think taking Lomu or Freeling would have worked a little better. But if they took a tackle, but I think you can wait for that later, and hopefully one of these 3 fall. If not, then you don't go tackle, and then you take it in the later round, and you take some of these guys who maybe perform in the Senior Bowl, maybe like a Austin Barber had a terrible Senior Bowl, I've heard. Not great. Or I don't know, someone else. Maybe a J.C. Davis or Brian Parker. I mean, even World, you can take him as a day 2 pick, right? Mid-day 2 pick. So I wouldn't really hate them passing on tackle here in this scenario. The Ravens. Peter Woods, perfect pick. I haven't done this pick in a minute. I keep on having them taking Vega Ione, but I think taking Peter Woods here is actually a really good pick, right? Because you don't know you extend Travis Jones, but he's not stopping you from drafting Peter Woods, and you don't know what's happening with Matabike. So I think taking Peter Woods here is perfect. Jesse Minter hired as the coach, so I think taking Peter Woods here, a defensive guy who would probably love taking Peter Woods here, a new gadget, new weapon. I think Peter Woods, the production hasn't been there, but I still think he's a good prospect. I think he's still one of the blue chip prospects. He fell a lot because there was much more, but he's getting double teamed a lot, and like most dominant defensive tackles, they get double teamed. So I don't really want to push the panic button on Peter Woods yet. So I think taking Peter Woods here, it's a great pick for the Ravens. So I think taking him here at 14 is good bang for your buck for Jesse Minter and the Ravens team. The Bucks. I like Sadiq here, but I don't know. I just think Keon's coming on a contract here, but I'm not really sold yet. The Bucks are a little tricky for me, right? There's a lot they can go. So if we look at the Bucks roster, right, you could go guard or edge. So I think taking an edge here might work, and I think David Bailey has fallen a lot. So I think taking David Bailey here is a great pick. David Bailey is getting some like maybe pick 3 buzz. I think that's a little too high. I don't think the Cardinals are taking him. And then he's getting pick 4 buzz. I think he will fall in this like maybe 7 to 18 range. This like 11 spot swing. But again, David Bailey's as a pass rusher is probably the best in this class. He was dominant against Oregon before he got eliminated from the playoffs. But against Oregon, he played very well. And I think taking him here is a great pick. There's questions about him being a 3-down lineman. You can maybe develop him into that. But I think taking David Bailey here is a perfect pick for the Bucs, who need a true defensive edge rusher who will get to the quarterback, because I don't think these guys are stopping you. You need someone else on the side of Vita Vea, because this pass rushing unit isn't that great. So I think taking David Bailey here is a great pick for the Bucs. Jets. You would like a wide receiver here. I have them taking Bain, obviously. That's getting pretty common for me. But I was looking at the Jets roster, right? Or depth chart. And they didn't have great corner help, honestly. I think Quantez Stiggers was the guy. That's my goal. I saw him at training camp. He waved at the crowd, so that's a W guy. But Brandon Stevens too. I don't think that's stopping you from drafting a corner. I'll go Avion Terrell. I want to talk about Colton Hood too when I get the chance. But Avion Terrell, great team or ferocious player. He's been very good at Clemson. I think the numbers are a little down this year, but I think obviously no interceptions this year. But he's very big. He's hit and he can hit. I think Avion Terrell, brother of AJ Terrell on the Falcons, can honestly transform his defense. Ever since losing Sauce, there's not really that much corner depth here, and even the corners that they have, it's not great. Like I'm not a huge fan of Quantez Stiggers at all. Obviously it's the second season, but a 5th-round pick over Avion Terrell. I think Avion Terrell will walk in and he'll immediately be the best corner in the room. So I think taking him here. And the Jets have so much draft capital where they can get another corner if they really want to later, or the quarterback of the future. Like there's so much draft capital in this, and this Jets team's honestly done pretty well with how much draft capital they've acquired, and they can honestly make some noise if they draft correctly. So I think Avion Terrell here is a step in the right direction, because I don't hate Avion Terrell. So I think taking him here would be perfect. The Lions, I have them taking. I have the Lions taking Monroe Freeling. Again, Monroe Freeling, technically, there's a little bit of desire technically, but he's huge. He's a behemoth. He's 6'7", 315. You fucking monkey, stop saying 6'7". But he's 6'7", 315, bro. The thing is, right, with him, right, he's young. There's some problem. His footwork's elite, but there's problem with his hand placement, and sometimes he can get thrown around. But for how big he is, I think taking the risk here is perfect. He doesn't have to start immediately either, which is what I love about this Lions tackle situation. He doesn't start immediately. Maybe Decker will retire, but he doesn't have to start immediately. So I think taking him here, it's not a terrible idea. So I think taking Monroe Freeling here is an awesome pick, in my personal opinion. Let's get a little crazy for the Vikings. To watch some tape on Emmanuel Warren. I'm kind of sold on him. I really like him. I don't think this is realistic because you don't take a safety this in the 18th when you need a little more, but. I told you, frisky mock draft. I love Emmanuel Warren. He has crazy range. He's very good coming lateral, even downhill sometimes too. He's big. He's a good ball hog. I think with Harrison Smith on his way out, I think taking McNeil Warren here isn't a terrible pick. Even though you don't see safeties go this high, today you do. Suck it. So I think taking Emmanuel. I always struggle when I say this. McNeil Warren is a great pick here, and I've fallen in love with him the last couple of days when I started watching a little more of his tape. And I think 18 might be a reach, but again, like I said, I wanted to get a little more perspectives going, and also that safety room is very thin. So I don't really hate this pick. The Panthers. This is honestly just a match made in heaven for me too. Whenever I see this, whenever Sadiq falls, I have the Panthers taking Sadiq. This is a awesome fit for Bryce Young. Taking Sadiq here, who's a home run hitter who can catch it and just zoom out as a tight end, is awesome. With McMillan, with Coker, with Leggett, if you can develop him, it's just turning into a good offense. And if Young struggles, then that's on him. But I don't think he will. with Sadiq, who can literally take it out, and Young, who plays pretty well in some games. And I think if he gets more consistent, he could be a top quarterback. I'm not a Bryce Young hater, so I love taking Sadiq here, and I think he would be a perfect fit for the Panthers, who need a little more tight end depth too. He's not a stellar blocker, but he can hold his own. He struggles a little bit on actual edge rushers, but versus like linebackers or even some corners, he's good. Obviously, you better dominate the corners, because otherwise you're getting too much blocking downside. But he's pretty good on corners, pretty good on linebackers. It's just the edge rushing defensive tackles get a little iffy, but I think taking him here, maybe developing as a blocker, but he's also just a very like good athlete, where he can take it, or just run or catch any ball that comes. I think that'd be a perfect pick for the Panthers. The Cowboys. So the Cowboys, I was looking at their roster construction too. I'm not going to pull up the depth chart for this one, but when I was looking at the roster construction too, I was looking at Ezeruku. He's more of a smaller, more pass rushing guy. I think taking Keldrick Folk here is a perfect pick for them. Keldrick Folk, there's a lot of like people disliking Keldrick Folk. I'm not super duper high on him. I think he's good. Run stopping, he's very good. Pass rushing is not very good, right? It's I saw Mel Kiper say he was more like a Shamar Stewart type, where like the production wasn't that great in college for pass rushing, but run blocking and in terms of an athlete, he's amazing, right? I can agree with that. I don't think he's as raw as Shamar Stewart. I think Shamar Stewart is very raw. Pause. But I think Keldrick Folk as a run blocker, run stopper, is very good, and I think taking him here with the Cowboys, who need an opposite edge of Ezeruku, is not a terrible pick. The Steelers, with newly dubbed head coach Mike McCarthy, I'm going Ty Simpson out of Alabama. If you guys watch these mock drafts regularly, you know I'm not a huge fan of Ty Simpson. I think that the tape is not good, but when he has looked good, he has looked good. And I'll give credit where credit's due. He's looked good in some games. I think the Tennessee game, he looked fine. Wisconsin obviously looked fine. Florida State was bad. Indiana was bad. Georgia was not great. But there's South Carolina was fine. Tennessee was fine. Missouri was fine. Like there's some to build off of, but I'm not a huge fan, right? There's a problem with his accuracy. In terms of frame, his frame is a little smaller than Mendoza, but Mendoza's a big guy, so I wouldn't really use him there. But I think taking Ty Simpson here is fine, because what if you don't want to wait till next year for a quarterback? So I think taking Ty Simpson here is fine. They say they want to develop Will Howard. I guess they'll have a training camp battle. I think the competition's needed in this room, because other than Aaron Rodgers, Will Howard, I'm not a huge fan. Rudolph isn't going to win a starting job. I'm not a huge fan of who they have. So this is mainly if Rodgers decides to come back, and he has to let them know before draft, because they don't want him to get fucked, right? So I think taking Ty Simpson here is good in the assuming that even with Will Howard and Aaron Rodgers, I think that just taking Ty Simpson here is just a good enough pick. I think taking Ty Simpson is fine. I'm not a huge fan of Ty Simpson, but it is what it is, man. And now, perfect for the Chargers, they take Vega Ione. Lowest floor, he's had like 4 pressures this year, and no sacks, obviously. So I think I don't know if he has a sack, actually. I'm not gonna speak on that, but let's see. Allowed 0 sack. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I knew I should trust my gut a little more. But yeah, Vega Ione, no sacks. Like 4. I know for a fact he's got like 5 pressures and like over 500 snaps. About it, soon to be 600. Or like close to 600. Closer to the 600 side than the 500. Like it was like 580 something, right? So I think taking Vega here is the perfect pick. You need to get Zion Johnson out of there. You need to get Becton out of there. You need to get the center out of there. I keep on forgetting the center's name, but you gotta get him out of there, because I know all 3 of those guys are terrorists. So I think taking those guys out of there and taking Vega is perfect. Because John Harbaugh loves to run the ball too. He did that a lot in Michigan, so do that now, a lot now with Hampton too. So I think taking Vega would actually be a perfect solution for their guard problem. The Eagles. Just got a major cramp, but I am back. What was I talking about? The Eagles. Holy crap! I'm like all over the place right now. The Eagles. I would love to take Colton Hood here, but he's had a terrible Senior Bowl day one practice. It's what I've seen on Twitter. But maybe just fuck it and take it. Fuck it, we ball, or to take Brandon Cisse, who's great physically wise, but technically sound, or not very technically sound in press coverage, which is a big need. So, but I think I'm gonna say Brandon Cisse. I love Brandon Cisse as a South Carolina fan. Physicals are off the chart. He's fast. He has a great frame. 196 foot. He's fast. He's great on the ball. It's just in press man coverage is where he gets a little iffy and his feet chatter a little bit, and then sometimes he gets beat. He didn't have a great game against A&M, but people are suspecting injuries. Again, now here's a guy. So yeah, I don't know. I like the Eagles taking him here. I'm not a big fan of this corner room, and even with the depth too. You're not taking Brandon Cisse as 23rd to be depth, but I think if someone goes down, there's more room for error. So I think taking Brandon Cisse here is a well enough pick, nonetheless. Let's go with the Browns. So the Browns, I had them taking CC Maui Noah, but I think taking wide receiver here, I think taking a ball getter like Denzel Boston's perfect here. I think Denzel Boston is, I wasn't as high as him, but again, watching some tape, I liked him a little more. It's the same thing with Emmanuel McNeil Warren. There's some red flags, but once I started watching them, I'm like, okay, maybe I can look past those a little bit. Denzel Boston gets a little sloppy sometimes with his route running, but he's a real ball catcher, and his frame is terrible. His frame is tremendous. Not terrible. He's the opposite of terrible. It's tremendous. 6'4", 209. That's perfect. Whoever that quarterback is going to be, Pro Bowler Shedeur Sanders probably. I hope Shedeur keeps on starting, because this is a real food for thought. Quickly, just a quick sidetrack. Do you think Shedeur Sanders is the best Browns quarterback in history, or like at least in like the last decade? Maybe post Baker Mayfield. I mean, I think so. Pro Bowl. Don't disrespect my boy. I'm a big Shedeur Sanders fan. So I was happy seeing him go to the Pro Bowl, even though it was a little fraudulent. But it's fine. He's still a Pro Bowler. Don't disrespect him. Pro Bowler, first Pro Bowler in this class, by the way. But you guys don't know ball. Anyways, we're getting majorly sidetracked. I think Denzel Boston, with whoever that quarterback's going to be, hopefully Shedeur, he'll go up and grab the ball. He's great at the catch point. Great physically too. He's fast for his size, so I think taking him here is a great pick for Washington. The Bears. I'm taking Kenny McDonald. I love this pick for them. This is like a great surefire pick for me. If Kenny McDonald's here, I'm taking him. With some other picks that I always take. Downs to Bengals. That's another big Chiefs to. I love to the Chiefs. And obviously Mendoza to the Raiders. And even Bain. I have Bain going a lot. So I think taking McDonald's one of those surefire picks that I just love going to. To Chicago. I think he is a great. He's more of a nose. He's great at run stopping, but pass rushing is a little bit to be desired. But I think you can develop him under that scheme. So I think taking him here is perfect. He's been great at Ohio State, and I think he can be a real threat, or a real threat in that defensive interior. The Bills. I'm going Casey Conception, a fun special teams guy, a fast guy. He's pretty much the complete opposite of Denzel Boston. I think taking him here is a perfect pick because you need Josh Allen. Obviously, he hasn't had the shifty slot guy. I actually love this. Conception does have the drop problems, but I think taking him here, who's a shifty small guy who has a lot of speed, like Stephon Diggs, throw back to Stephon Diggs, giving Josh Allen a Stephon Diggs type guy would work a lot. And I think this wide receiver room is so depleted. Their owner literally said or GM, I think it was the GM. The GM literally said we didn't want to draft Keon Coleman. Or the owner or some higher up guy said we didn't want to draft Keon Coleman. What are you talking about, bro? While he's on your team, bro, he's only 3 years. He's about to be 3 years into the league, bro. I don't understand it. I remember when Keon Coleman was getting compared to Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. and Roman Dunes. It's bro, or even MHJ. I'm like, no, it's not even close. Stop. Those guys are so much. Or even Ladd McConkey too. You took Keon Coleman for Ladd McConkey? Are you serious? He's pretty good in Florida State. I still had a McConaughey a little over him, but anyways, we're getting sidetracked. I think Casey Conception here is a great pick. Special teams guy, small, shifty, can get through. There's job problems, but I don't think that's a big worry. I think if Josh Allen can get on the money there, he'll be fine. So I think taking him here is the perfect pick for the Bills. The 49ers. This gets a little interesting because this is the board's fallen very, very bad for them, right? I think taking Caden, I don't know. You take Lomu or Proctor. I'm not even taking one of these two tackles. You take Proctor or Lomu. I think taking Lomu. The reason why I took Lomu over Proctor is because, again, Lomu Proctor's a little more raw. He's bigger. He can literally like be a beast, right? 366, 6'7". Like he's bigger than Monroe Freeling. Like that's how big he is. But I think taking Lomu here is a little better because he's a little more technically sound. Obviously, the technique isn't like resounding, right? It's not the best in the world. It's fine. And then his size is pretty similar. He's 6'6", 308. Like you can sacrifice that like a little bit just to learn behind Trent Williams and that in that line. So I think taking him here is honestly a perfect pick. And if you can move him to guard if you want to, because they PFF has him in guard if you need guard. It's not a terrible pick for what they get. And I think Lomu falling to 27 is honestly a great option. The Texans, I have them taking Caden Proctor out of Alabama. If either Proctor or Pregnon was there, I think I'll take Proctor. He's a little bigger. Did play tackle, but I think he's gonna move to guard. Basically wherever I pick him, he's gonna move to guard. Like regardless wherever he goes in this 32 pick team, he's gonna go to guard. He's giant. He's good, but there's obviously technique concerns. There's like a lot of technique concerns. But if you can move him to guard and maybe like get him into the swing of things, that would be perfect. And even if someone like a tackle goes down in game, you can maybe move him to tackle and see how that works with your backups in. But you're taking this for awesome offensive line because the offensive line looked terrible against the Patriots and even just all year. So I think you're wasting that generational type defense. So just build up that line. The Rams. So this gets even more interesting, right? Yeah, Mekhi Lemon. But corner here, do you want to take Keith Abney, Colton Hood? I'm gonna stray from Colton Hood today because I was pretty high on Colton Hood, but what I'm hearing in the Senior Bowl, I'm hearing like horror stories. I'm gonna go Chris Johnson. Someone who I haven't watched a lot of film. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched a lot of film on Chris Johnson. I'm gonna start doing that. I don't know if he's playing in the Senior Bowl or the Shrine Bowl. But I would really like to watch more tape on him. I've heard he's pretty good in zone coverage. Like he's very good in zone coverage. So I think taking him here for the Rams who need corner, Durant and I forget the other corner's name, but they're not really getting the job done. So let's look at the Rams depth chart quickly. So so Durant is not worth it. I think Williams is not worth it. I think you'll keep Durant if you take Chris Johnson, but I think Williams will be moved to backup. I'm not a huge fan of Williams, but I think Chris Johnson here is great in zone. If Chris Willis stays, awesome. If not, the new defensive coordinator is gonna have a bunch of weapons on the defense. I think Chris Johnson can help you with that. The Patriots. I'm taking edge TJ Parker from Clemson. I think taking TJ Parker here is good. He's had a pretty good Senior Bowl too, or Shrine Bowl, Senior Bowl. I think taking him here would be awesome. He can be a 3-down lineman guy. I think he's one of the true 3-down linemen, other than maybe Bain or really just Bain. Others I have questions about being a 3-down lineman. You can count Arvo Reese technically as being a lineman, but I think I'm gonna count him as a linebacker because that's what he's listed at. So I think Bain and Parker are honestly like I've grown on Parker too. He's one of my favorite, but I think Bain and Parker are probably the only 3-down linemen that I feel really trusted in. So I think taking more edge and youth off of that on that line is honestly a perfect pick for what they get. I don't hate that pick. The Broncos. You would have loved Kenyon Sadiq here, but it's an interesting group of people, right? I'm gonna go CJ Allen. CJ Allen is not great in pass coverage, but in run stuffage and downhill has been very good. So I think taking CJ Allen here is a good pick. And then to round it out, the Seahawks taking Colton Hood again hasn't lit it up in his practices this week, but I think taking him here is a good bang for your buck, I guess. This defense doesn't need much more, but I think taking a dominant corner, which a bunch of free agents they have, is a great pick. And thanks for watching as always. Let me know if you have any questions, concerns, what picks that you like, picks that you didn't like. Let me know your feedback. This is my mock draft. Let me zoom out a little bit. This is my mock draft. I think that's it. I'm just chatting, bro. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll see you guys tomorrow.